Rule 1, the field of play. A soccer field is a rectangle that is composed of 2 touch lines, approximately 100 to 120 yards long, and 2 goal lines, approximately 55 to 85 yards wide. The recommended size is 110 by 65 yards. On this slide, you can see field markings that are found on every soccer field. Importantly, the penalty area extends 18 yards into the field and 18 yards from the inside of each goalpost. Within each penalty area, a penalty mark is found 12 yards from the midpoint of the goalposts. Hash marks are located 10 yards from the corner arc on each side of the field. However, they are not required. When you conduct your pregame field inspection, if you identify any issues with field markings, you should notify the venue administrator and ask him or her to correct those issues. If the issues cannot be corrected before the game starts, you should not delay the match. You should play the game as scheduled and submit a game report afterwards noting any issues. Team or technical areas shall begin 10 yards from the halfway line and extend for 20 yards, and they should begin 10 feet from the touchline. Spectator areas should be located at least 10 feet from all touchlines, team areas, and goal lines. Nobody is permitted directly behind either goal unless they are in bleachers. Field safety is always the primary concern for referees at all levels, and this begins with the proper field inspection. All officials should arrive at least 30 minutes before kickoff to inspect the field of play. If you identify any issues with the field of play that involve safety concerns, you should notify the venue administrator and the home team coach so that those issues can be corrected before the game. It is the home team's responsibility to correct those issues. And if they are not corrected before the game is scheduled to start, the game cannot be played. In other words, if the referee determines that the field is not safe for play, the game cannot begin. It is the referee's final decision. It is the referee's decision as to whether a field is safe for play. Goals. The goal measures 8 foot high from the underside of the crossbar to the ground. The width is 8 yards from the inside of the goalpost to the inside of the other goalpost. Goals have to be anchored securely to the ground. Some goals are anchored by stakes into the ground, and some are anchored with weights or sandbags. In addition, sometimes the goals will be connected or secured to the football posts, which is permissible, and sometimes they will be weighed down with concrete bars in the back of the post. Any of those options count as being anchored. The referee makes the final determination as to whether or not a goal is safe for play. Once again, if the goals are not anchored, that is a field safety concern and the game cannot be started. Goals also must be properly aligned. If a goal post is not the same width as the goal line, the goal should be positioned so the back of the goal post is even with the outside of the goal line. This will help the referee team to determine whether the entire ball has completely crossed the goal line. Corner flags should be used in all high school matches. They must be at least 5 feet high with a safe top so that players do not get injured. The referee should check the corner flags during the field inspection, and if the referee deems them to be unsafe, they must be removed and replaced with safe flags. However, if safe flags are not available, it would be permissible to begin a game without corner flags. That is not a field safety concern, but it should be noted in your post-game report. Official and team area markings are not required, but they may be present. If the areas are not marked with lines, the team areas should be the areas immediately in front of the benches. This can help referees manage team official and substitute behavior. Only substitutes, coaches, and team officials listed on the roster may be in the team area. The coach and other team personnel must remain in this area except when entering the field, with the referee's permission, to assess an injured player. Substitutes may leave the team area to warm up and to enter the game, but when they are not doing either of those activities, they must stay in the team area. If team area markings are not marked or not present, coaches and team officials should be restricted to the area directly in front of the team bench, as depicted in this diagram. When teams are placed on opposite sides of the field, which occasionally happens in high school, the team areas may not be centered at midfield, as shown in diagram A. To repeat, the example listed in diagram A is not allowed. Instead, the team areas must be diagonally across from each other, as depicted in diagrams B and C.